Oh wow, delayed reaction there, guys. Sorry about that. Hey, look, you know what? It's Wednesday. We're not doing the show on Thursday. I got Anna back there. You know what? We're gonna rock it to you. We got family drama stuff. We got just life in general. Parents. Who should be charged? You know, when a car is stolen, as a child in it. Okay, that's all coming up to you in just a minute. Oh God.
Hey.
I'm having, I'm already on. I am having technical issues today, guys. Sorry, I kind of forgot the way to do my stuff.
It's
But
usually
hey,
me.
I know, right? I'm like, oh my goodness. You know, hopefully we'll get this show off to a good start today. We were off last week, just life gets in the way, and I was gone for 2 weeks. You know, again, it's shit happens. But it don't matter. We're back at it. You know, we're going and seeing how things go. How you been though, Anna?
Pretty good. Doing better lately compared to 2 weeks ago. So really sad I missed that show. Probably would have helped me, but other than that, life has been going great. Just living day by
Yeah,
day,
that
minute by minute.
yeah, that's right. We had the dog guy,
Y-
Athena Wagner dog, the biker dog. There you go. Adventures. The biker dog adventures. Let me
Yes.
tell you, uh, that guy is what he's doing was great. I love it. But we're gonna bring him on back on another show coming up, and we're gonna talk gun safety. Imagine what could have happened.
What
But stay tuned for
happened?
that one soon. Oh well, you'll have to wait to see because
All right, I'm anxious.
it's gonna be pretty cool. Because poor Jimmy. You know that's all I got to say on that one. I can't believe it. But I'm gonna have you on, and we're gonna talk about that.
Sounds
But
good because I need to know about gun safety.
oh, cool, good. You know he's gonna tell you what not to do. But hey, look, you guys that are listening, we try to be a weekly show. We're constantly on, but hey, share the show with your friends. Share it with your frenemies. Share it with your enemies. Share it with your enemies' enemies. Share it with your friends' enemies. Share it with whoever you want. Share it with the brother. Share it with the sister. Share it with the brother-in-law, sister-in-law. You know, mother-in-law, parents. Doesn't matter. Your cousins.
Whether
Share
you
the
like
show.
them or not.
Correct. Keep in mind, hey, look, we're brought. We come to you. Wow. Listen, come check out Clovercrest Media. All right. They help with the show. They help get my platform out there. All right. If you want to start a podcast, come check them out. We do everything from sports to politics. I mean, social issues. Today we got family issues, you know. So let's jump into this. And I want to know something, right? Should parents be charged? Let me explain this one. You go to a gas station, you leave your child in the car. You get down, leave your child in the car. Go pick up, I don't know, a Gatorade, chips, a beer, cigarettes, alcohol, whatever you're going to get. You come out and your car is gone. Who's at fault?
The person that stole it.
No. The car wouldn't be stolen if it wasn't left running. So the person that drove the car that's in the store paying is at fault. The parent or the guardian or whatever of the child that's left in the car.
But what gives
The
a
guard,
person a right to take what doesn't belong to them?
okay, but what gives me the right to leave your child in the car?
Okay, how old is the child?
It doesn't matter.
One?
Obviously, let's say one, let's say two, let's say three, let's say four. It could happen to someone that has a 5-year-old. And I think you froze. Yeah. So and I froze. Eventually, she'll be back. But my argument here is, and I think this is where and I was going, when she was asking who's what, is how is it that you go into a gas station, you go buy whatever you're gonna buy, your car gets stolen because you left it running with your child in the car. Who's the irresponsible person here?
The parent is. Because you
Okay,
shouldn't leave any kid unattended in a vehicle,
correct. Right. So
especially
now,
nowadays.
and no, I think ever. I think this is something that's gone on forever. But nowadays, what happens is that social media makes everything bigger than what it is. But again, should the parents be charged? Because if you leave your child in the car gets stolen, you come out, oh my god, they took my child. Well, goddamn it, it's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
You know, parents, you need to understand you can't leave your kids in the car. Okay, so far this year, there've been 125 kids that have been left in their
In the
car.
car? Oh my
In the,
God. And they're so stupid because some of them don't even leave the car on and they either die from heat or they get kidnapped, right?
yeah, I mean, look, I know of someone that left their kid in the car, and the
While it was
child died.
hot. Oh my
Yes,
God.
and the child died. Okay, and the thing is, we're talking about. I think the time the child was maybe 3 4 months.
Oh, that is so sad.
And in his case, it was he dropped off. He didn't really ever take the baby to daycare. He didn't really do a lot of that because he
Uh,
had an older child. He took his child. He put both kids in the car, drove to one of the schools, dropped off the other kid. I'm the older kid that was in elementary, and then left to work. He forgot he had the newborn.
OMG.
Hmm. Yep.
Oh,
And so it happens.
that's sad.
That's very sad. You know. But again,
Did they charge him?
they were trying to charge him.
Uh,
I don't know whatever came out of it because I stopped following the story. But I think he was charged, or no. You know what? I don't think he was charged. But I know that there was a heavy investigation to it.
uh,
You know,
was that the guy from Georgia?
no,
Okay, because there was a guy in Georgia that also left his kid in the car, but I think he was charged.
I mean this happened back in 2012.
Mm.
Well, as a matter of fact, he was being charged with manslaughter.
Yeah, I think he should.
Yeah. Well, no, he was being charged. A Miami-Dade judge dismissed manslaughter charges against a father whose daughter died after he left her in a sweltering car for hours. In September 12th, I'm not going to say the guy's name,
Okay.
told investigators it wasn't part of his usual routine to take actually the child was 6 months, the 6 month
Oh,
old daughter when he dropped off his son at elementary on his way to work. You see, the child stayed there all day between from 3 to 5, from probably 8 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. He
oh my.
returned to school to pick up. Mind you, he still didn't realize the kid was in the car. At around 5 o'clock, he returned to school to pick up his son. When the boy got into the back seat, that's when they both discovered the infant unresponsive in his car seat. Even when he went back into his car, he didn't even realize that. The infant was taken to Miami Children's Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. In her ruling, and this is, I mean, I'm going to go through the whole thing. I mean, this is a story I ran into, and it was pretty interesting. In her ruling, Miami-Dade judge wrote, while Ramos was negligent, his conduct was not reckless, gross, or flagrant enough to warrant a criminal charge. Her ruling, which will be appealed by prosecutors, set up legal showdown, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And the finding master charge prosecutors claimed that Ramos
Wait,
was reckless because he
but
was
he took the one
distracted.
kid to elementary. The other kid, wasn't that other kid in a car seat?
Probably not because he was 5 years old. And if you're at a certain weight and height, you don't have to do the
The booster?
right. You don't have to do the car seat after 5 years old. So the other kid, I mean, it doesn't say the other child's age. It says that he was in elementary school. So who knows? Maybe the kid was
Could have
12,
been in 5th grade. Yeah.
right? I mean, not 12, but 11. So on a finding master charge, prosecutors claimed that Ramos, oops, was reckless because he was distracted by work phone calls on his way to work, to office. Judge Bernard disagreed, saying that while his conduct was negligent, it was not egregious enough to amount to a culpable negligence, according to the paperwork. Okay, so he was in charge, and I think it's a lot of the discretion of the judge. You know,
Yeah.
but I mean that's something different because that you see and you're like, oh my god, But if
How can you not know? That's,
it's not
I mean,
it's not part of his routine.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's not.
again, I don't know. I don't know.
I have a paint gun that's in the back of my car, and every time I get off my car, I'm like, I got to take that down when I get home. And that's on the floor.
Yeah. So I don't know. I
Uh,
mean, I think that we're leaving the kids in the car. Parents should be charged, especially when your car is stolen. I mean, we had an incident out here about about 2 weeks ago where the car was stolen with the child inside, and the child was put, I think, like on the sidewalk because the person that stole the car realized, oh, I don't want to get charged for kidnapping.
but it's better to put the child's safety at risk.
I think the child's more of a risk if he stays in the car.
If they just leave them on the side of the road,
If they leave him on the sidewalk, yeah, it's dangerous. But I guarantee you,
what if a dog
some
comes? Yeah, but what if a dog comes? What if a raccoon bites him? What if a snake? What if
okay. So who's negligent at that point?
both of them at that point?
I think the parent should get majority of the negligence charge. One gets the negligence. Well, they're both gonna have to because
No, I
one just
think
put
they
them
should,
out
no, both equally, because one put him in harm to get kidnapped, the parent, neglected, abandoned, basically abandoned the baby in the car. But the other person, the person that stole the car, put him in a higher risk. What if it would have started raining? What if
there. I don't know.
anything, you know what I mean? But that's at a higher risk. What if the baby would have died of heat stroke because it was so hot outside? You know what I mean? Those car
Yeah.
seats get hot either way.
Well, I mean, look, it gets hot in the car. Period. Like
But even
we get hot in the
outside,
car. You know. Yeah. I mean, look, whatever temperature it is outside, put that it's gonna be about 20 degrees more inside the car.
right, right. But I think they should both equally get charged the same because they abandoned that child. They put that child more at risk.
But I do think the parent has
Whereas,
to get charged regardless.
well, yeah,
Excuse me.
they should both get charged equally. Now, if they would have caught them and they had the baby, then the parent should have got charged more because at least the thief was taking care of the baby.
So in other words, don't charge me for
Stealing the
What is it?
car for the kidnapping.
Right. Don't charge me for kidnapping because I was babysitting the child. I was taking care of the child.
Exactly. Instead of leaving
Ah,
the kid
okay.
on the side
So
of the road.
he was getting paid for babysitting. There we go. That's why.
There
He
you
only
go. Got a
stole the
free
car.
ride.
He never kidnapped the child. Gotcha. All right. That doesn't work. But I mean, look, it is what it is. People are who they are. I think parents should be charged in that kind of case. So
or
I'm gonna come.
wait. Or you should be cautious of the car that you steal.
No, no. The parent cannot leave the kid in the goddamn car.
Well, I
Bottom line.
understand that, but the thief shouldn't steal the car with a kid in it.
But you should not leave your child in the car. You're irresponsible. You shouldn't be a parent then.
That's not right.
It is right.
Toilet,
Toilet? What do you mean toilet?
the toilet flush.
Oh yeah, I think we'll just get a.
Yes.
Is that better? All right, so we're done
Thank you.
with that topic there. All right, because that just is just one of
Went
those where
went this way, sideways.
yeah, it did. So family feuds.
Ugh.
I want to speak family feuds because I think in a lot of families it
Every
happens.
family. I think every family has a feud. I think just some of them have more than others.
Yeah, and some are harder than others, right?
Yeah.
So who's the one that is really affected in this one? Who's the one, when you have a family feud, who's really affected? Is it the two people arguing or the person here that's in the middle?
The person stuck in the middle.
I would think so. I would
The
think so.
person stuck in the middle. I think that's when the two people that are feuding need to decide if this one is worth the energy, the one they're fighting with. Like one of the two have to decide, are they worth my energy and my time?
Which one needs to decide?
Whoever's the
The two
bigger
people that are
person.
fighting?
One of them. I know somebody that had a family feud where the wife made the husband choose her or or his family, his biological family, parents, sisters, brothers, things like that. So the family decided not to give her that importance and didn't make him choose on their side.
But
They
but
just
the other one did.
the other one did. But it took a while, but the husband kind of realized that she was the problem starter. She was the one that was bringing up drama. She was the one that was bad talking his family. She was the one that was putting the wedge between everything.
Right.
And so the brothers and sisters and the mom and dad just kind of was like, whatever, whatever. Never talked bad about her to him and never said anything negative about her. And she ended up looking like an ass herself.
Well, it's weird because the way, that's one of those things where the person in the middle again is the
Is
most
the one
affected.
that gets exactly. They're the
Okay?
most affected,
And
but it's up to you
well, let me okay,
being
now hold on. What kind of drama are we talking about? We're talking about an argument? Are we talking about just talking shit
well
about one
talking,
another?
but once you start
Or
talking,
or are we talking about complete insults? Are we
well,
talking about because you see,
I think it gravitates. because this person's situation started off with little words here and there, then it came with attitude, then it came to I'm keeping the kids away from you,
Mhm.
and then it got to physical violence. So I think it builds, you know what I mean? So it can start small, but it can grow into something bigger depending on the person.
Mhm. Well, this is the thing. Now, I'm throwing just here's a person in the middle. I'm only putting a fight between these two, right? Correct? Just these two.
Mhm.
So what happens when this person ends up in a fight? Well, let's do it this way. That happens when this person ends up in a fight with this person and this person now. And this person's still here. The married party. What happens that now, where it's this one arguing with this one or fighting or talking shit with this one and this one. Which
And
one is now who's the problem here?
this one. So this one and this one should get together and kick this one's ass.
Okay, but again, what is
No,
that
no,
gonna
no.
do?
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Where does that come into work with the the,
Then
the married people?
this person, the spouse in the middle, needs to realize and open their eyes and see what the problem is, and either one, stand up for these two, which I'm assuming are family members,
Hmm.
or this one that is a spouse.
But again, now that screws up the whole dynamic of life.
Yeah, but you can't force somebody to see what you see. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you and I can see, okay, let's just say you and I are the brothers and sisters.
Hmm.
And our brother, our brother's wife, so our sister-in-law, started shit with you, started shit with me.
Hmm.
And we're the type of people that don't take that shit and we're going to say something back.
Hmm.
Now, at this
Absolutely.
point, our brother should know us and has to draw a line of this is your 15th marriage. Who's been there for you in between all of your marriages?
Absolutely agree.
Through thick or thin, me and you have been there for our brother, and wife number 15 can soon turn into ex-wife number 15 because now he's going on to wife number 16.
Right. Right.
That's what I
So,
think.
well, yeah. I mean, look, I find it's a messed up situation in general, just because there is a person in the middle, but now
How does it make you feel?
me.
Yeah, if you
It's
were,
I think depending on the fight. I mean, did I argue with my ex-wife? This we're gonna talk about me now. Did I argue about my ex-wife about my brother? Yeah, they didn't really get too much along, but she dealt with him. She dealt with him. There was a respect. She would tell me stuff, but whenever we did stuff as a family, he's still
it
there.
was mutual, everybody was okay.
Right, because there was a mutual respect.
Hmm. So,
There's mutual respect. She wouldn't sit there and cuss him out or whatever. But it's one of those where it's like, okay, you guys don't like each other. You don't have to like everybody, but now
but you can get along.
you can. But now I'll tell you this: I might allow an argument because people are gonna argue regardless.
Hmm.
Okay, I won't allow disrespect on either side. Okay, now when you start arguing with my mother and there's any disrespect involved, all bets are off the table. To me, you're out the door, regardless.
Mhm.
I don't give a shit. To me, it doesn't matter who the hell you are. You're
So
straight up
what if the mother fights, says bad things about the daughter-in-law?
to her
Yeah, what if
or
it's
to
the
me.
roles are reversed? No, that the mother-in-law tells you bad things about your wife. What do you do?
If I have no kids with the person,
No, it doesn't matter. That's your wife, the person you're living with, the one that you married, that did the wife did absolutely nothing and your mother can't stand her just because
well, then I think
she
my
doesn't
mom's
like
out
you.
of gas. Then I think my mom's out of gas. It doesn't mean that I'm going to turn my back on my mother because I'm not.
Mhm.
Because that's my mom. Mom wants to talk shit to me about her. That's fine. I don't care. My mom talks shit to her and they argue. Well, mom, you kind of started it. If
Mhm.
she disrespect, if they're arguing again, you could take that.
But it's
If
just
there's,
still
if,
bottom
if
line, if the one that disrespects the other person,
correct,
that
correct,
starts the disrespect is wrong.
off the hands
Okay.
down, because if it's the mom to her, hey mom, you just kind of deserve what you just got,
Right.
you know.
So then
But
you're
if
being fair, you're being equal.
in a sense,
I,
right? But this is where the difference comes. I won't, because the girlfriend or the wife says, "Oh, you can't talk to your mom no more. You can't do no family events." No, sorry,
mm-mm.
they're still gonna happen. I don't
No
care.
matter what, whether you come or not, but you will
Right at that
respect.
point, is where you choose. You have to choose to get past it. You know,
See,
and
now,
and now this is where things kind of might become a double standard, right? If you go to that family event and the wife starts disrespecting, what do you do?
beat the
That's
shit out of
that's
her. No, I'm just kidding. Sometimes you have to be the bigger person and just
yeah,
turn around while
I
she's
agree.
walking.
But yeah, I mean those are things that kind of you have to really look at and you
But
have
if they do it to your mother, then you step in no matter what.
right
That's when
if they
all of
do
the
it.
kids should be like, hey, you need to leave.
Oh, for sure.
This needs to stop. You need to go take your fucking time out.
Uh-huh. I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
Backhander. Yeah.
Yes, Lydia. You know what? I agree. Just go, pop, bitch. You know. But nah, you know what? You gotta do those weird things. I what can I say? But now that we
And I
kind
think,
of Lydia put it out there like that. So Lydia, I'm gonna talk about this about you because I know for a fact you beat the crap out of Marcus all the time. There's no doubt about it. That is straight
oh.
up domestic violence, girl. I know you beat him up. I know that. I've seen it. All right.
Oh,
So
does she? Does she really? No.
nah,
I said, shut up.
man.
No,
Nah, she doesn't. Hold on. She doesn't beat up. You
she's
see, she's
laughing.
smiling. She's laughing. She's laughing. Uh oh. No,
That's
but
right.
now
When the
she
when
doesn't.
the what is it? Happy
She
wife,
she
happy
beats
life.
him up. Yeah, she beats him up, but she doesn't hit him too hard. You know,
Hey,
just
but
when
they
it's
shouldn't
appropriate.
lay a hand on us anyways. We're women. If you lay a hand on me
You,
first, if you lay a hand on me first, I'm going to defend myself with anything that I have, whether it's a
I'm glad
knife,
you
a
said it that
gun.
way.
Okay.
Because if you lay your hands on me first, if you
Then
think you
you
can
have
kick a
every
guy
right to
fast, then
hit
I have
me.
every single right to smack you right back. I don't give a shit.
I I'm 100% with that because that's the way my daddy raised me. He says if you have enough balls to hit a man first, then you better have enough balls to take it when he hits you back. But if a
Absolutely.
man
So,
hits me first, I will use anything in my path.
my question is this: so, what is really considered domestic? I'm a hothead. Oh wait, hold on. Let's see, Lydia. I'm a hothead, but I've come to learn que más se gana con azúcar que con el sal. Oh, for sure.
Yes.
That's absolutely, absolutely. But sometimes you're just salty
Sometimes you just
regardless.
gotta no, but sometimes you just gotta walk away. That's where I had to learn the hard way to control myself. Because sometimes you can go and go, and then you say things that get way out in left field. So when I get to the point where it's not it's turning into an argument, I just walk away.
Well, I
Because
think.
before, I would argue until you saw what I was trying to tell you.
Oh, I know that. You forgot we lived in the same house for a while.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, you see now, if we were to argue and I were to see that it's getting to a point where it's gonna turn into a huge argument, I would just turn around, walk away, give us whatever time, and just
Yeah.
when we're ready to talk, talk. I don't care if it takes a week, a month, or whatever,
No, well,
a
I think
day,
that's
an
the way we.
hour.
I think that's the way we did things. You know.
Well, we used to argue, and you used to call me a bitch, and I would call you a fucking asshole.
I don't
And
remember that
then,
part.
oh, I do. And then, like 5 minutes later, you'd be like, "Come on, let's go get some cigarettes." Okay.
All right. Well, that's not considered domestic violence. That's just cousin fighting. But so going on to our wonderful topic, we just go into many different things, and
Okay, so
who knows
domestic violence would be mental, physical, and verbal abuse.
which is the worst one.
I think, well, physical can be, it depends because mental and verbal still kind of go together because they can, if they take you to a point where they mentally destroy you or you allow somebody to mentally destroy you, I mean, you can start doing things as far as suicide to hurt, you know what I mean? Hurt yourself.
Mhm.
Where they're still hurting you, they're still killing you, but keeping their hand clean. Whereas domestic violence, they could beat you until you die. You know what I mean?
Not really. So we have. Let's see. We have people commenting on here. So my sister's saying they're all bad. She's hold on. Let me come here.
Yeah.
That's my sister's comment. I bet. So they're all bad. Elizabeth says they're mental. Lydia here is coming out with domestic abusive can be any of those, but honestly, mental abuse is the worst. It can take people years to overcome someone destroying them.
Yep.
Here, verbal abuse, mental abuses you. Okay, let's see. It's hard to come back from mental abuse. I
It is. You have to. Yeah.
that's that's what I was thinking.
What?
I was saying that to me, mental abuse
Okay, I'll be there in a
is.
minute.
I think mental abuse is worse, just for the simple fact that it stays with you. It's an occurring thing every day, every moment. As to a physical abuse, your partner's like, the person's not going to get physical with you every single day.
You don't know
Okay,
that.
you're right, but more than likely, probably not. It could happen once or twice a week, but you know what? All that heals. The pain in your hands go away. The pain in your body goes away. What doesn't go away is what's in your mind.
It mentally hurts you. Yeah. It destroys you.
Correct. But that's
So,
why
but what happens if he beats the shit out of you and you fall and you hit your head against something and you die?
well, it's gonna happen. So is throwing a glass of water on somebody mental abuse? I mean, physical abuse?
Physical abuse? No. Mm-mm.
Why are you even comparing? They're both awful. So someone hitting you over and over mentally abuses as well. I understand that. I'm not really comparing. We're just kind of stating a couple things here and there as to what's worse or what we think is worse. So what I guess we're complaining. Big Facebook user, go underneath where it says StreamYard and click it so we can see your name and we'll see you. But that's what I think. I think mental abuse is worse. But question: if I have a glass of water and I throw it at you, is that considered abuse?
Are you throwing the glass or just the water?
The water.
No. If you throw the
Why not?
glass with the water, because it's just
Why
water.
not?
Sometimes that's like when they slap you when you're going crazy, like cállate ya. Like what you do to your kids. You're out of line. You need to calm down. You need to
Well,
snap
if
to
I go like
reality.
this and the water
That's
spills,
not domestic abuse. That means you need to calm the fuck down. You like go take a cold shower.
and what happens if I'm doing it in front of the kids? Same thing. Well, not
Same
me,
thing.
but you know what I mean. That's
It's not domestic
interesting.
abuse. If you throw the cup and hit them with it with the water in it, then yes, it's domestic.
Hmm. So let's see what it says. Any source of abuse on a partner is mentally exhausting. Even if it's physical abuse, you don't always know what you're going to say to trigger the other person.
Exactly. Then you're always walking on eggshells.
Very, 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 very true. That one, I yeah,
That would
I'm.
the
Go
throwing the
ahead.
water to me is like doing this to you
Okay, why?
because water isn't going to do anything to me. Water can't hurt me. Water is just going to startle me. You know what I mean? It's not going to cut me. It's not going to make me bleed. It's just going to make me wet. This to me is the same thing. What is this telling you?
Fuck
It's
you.
not hurting you. Exactly.
You're mentally
It's not.
abusing me with that. That you hurt my feelings.
Well, I
You
can
know,
hurt your
my feelings
feelings.
get hurt. That's kind of plays with my mind. No, look. Let's see. I agree. It's just water, but the cup now that's just going to escalate the situation. Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know, but that's like grabbing a beer and going. But I would
Exactly.
never do that.
It just makes the other person pissed,
Yeah, it does.
especially if you got
So,
makeup on and your hair all done. And
so teenage years. How
oh, do I
were
remember those?
but yeah, of course. I remember my teenage years. Now that you're a parent, how have those teenage years treating you now? Do
Um,
you regret all the shit you put your parents through?
just a little bit, because I think I was a good kid for most of the time. I think in my 20s, I really experienced my teenage years.
You got rebellious. You
In
think
my
you know it all.
20s, well, of course I did. I was Fernando Cuesta's daughter.
Oh yeah, yeah you were. But just kind of teenage years. They think they know it all.
Yeah,
It's an
back talk.
attitude for everything. It's hey, I want to do this, but you said you're gonna do this. Well, motherfucker, I can't do it now.
Exactly.
You know?
And they think money grows on trees and you're an ATM with a with no balance.
Yeah, but why these kids start arguing with their parents? Let's see. See, lady here. Oh, I wasn't the best, but honestly, I believe all teenagers go through a stage of being rebellious, and it's part of life. It is. And here,
So, mhm,
yes,
yep, it's a maturing thing.
I,
So what do you do as a parent? Do you beat the shit out of them? Do you ignore them?
I, ignoring them obviously is not the right thing to do.
Uh, Beating the shit out
You
of them
know,
then.
well, I be trying to beat the shit out of them. I mean, I think already once you've hit that teenager stage, there's
No hitting.
not really a need to hit. Maybe you might have to push around if they kind of get a little live, you know.
Just throw water on
But
them.
you always got no. You always got to show them who's boss too, though, so they don't think they can walk all over you. But I think it's more about just trying to understand them and talking to them.
Mhm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not the easiest. I know that I went through
You're telling me.
those teenage years with my oldest. Los golpes no enseñan. Ground them. Take away their phone, their room, door, their gaming device, etc. Yeah.
That doesn't work for all kids.
Hope for the best. Raise them to be good human beings. Well, yeah. Like Lydia, you know what? I can tell you that grounding them works up to a point. All right. Yeah, you take their phone away. You lock the gaming. You take everything away, but it doesn't always work. I mean,
Exactly.
I mean, it's just one of those that kids are kids. They're gonna get into
Like
stuff. They're gonna no.
Christian was making bad grades and we made him take everything out of his room and sleep on the floor without a blanket or a pillow so he would know what it was like to have nothing.
That's interesting, and I never thought of that.
Yep.
I
When him and Mallory were little and they used to fight, I would make them hug for 30 minutes.
I used to do that with my camp kids at the park. I used to
And
make
they
them
didn't
hold
fight.
hands and walk the park
Yep,
after
and
a
they
fight.
quit fighting, right?
No, yeah. I mean, look, the teenage years are rough. They're rebellious. We just have to kind of try to guide them the right way and hope
Exactly.
that what we put out there they learn. We just I don't know. We got to be examples for them, I guess. Sometimes we make the wrong choices without realizing that they're there and they're humans. They're little humans. They see everything we do.
Exactly.
You know. But I actually went out of sequence here because I was gonna do this one first. But Home Alone, right?
Oh,
How many of us have left our kids at home alone? A lot.
yeah.
Okay.
It freaks the shit out of me all the time.
Okay. What's the right age to leave them home? What is the
I
right age
Isn't
to
it
leave these kids
legally
home?
12?
Be respectful to them if you want to expect. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm all about
12.
respect.
I can tell you that this in the state of Florida, there's not an age.
I think in Texas it was 12 years old.
Okay. What age did you ever leave your kids home alone? I don't think much.
12. Christian, when he was 12, 13 is when we started, hey, we're going to the store. Do you want to go? But we have really good neighbors. And I have one, two, three police officers that live on my street.
Okay.
So it was safe. Now, Ariana, she has to walk to the bus stop by herself, and it scares the shit out of me. Just
It's
because her
how far
best
is
friend,
the bus stop?
4 houses down.
Oh, that's not that far.
Yeah, but you don't know what could happen. She's a girl.
Florida does not have a legal age. Yeah, Florida does not have a legal age because I looked that up not that long ago, but Florida doesn't really have a legal age as to when you can leave your children at home.
The good thing is that when my mom was okay, at least she was here. She would watch Ariana go to the bus stop or Christian
Right.
be outside when they came. Now that she can't walk and stuff like that, now, I mean, you tell the kid, text me when you get on the bus, and she doesn't text you. So I'm freaking out and I have to do the find my phone to see where she's at.
Dude, why don't you put an alert on her? She has an iPhone, right?
Yeah, I do. I have to find my phone thing.
No, no, but do you put the alert on the where you get an alert when she leaves the location? You get an alert, like with my son, right? When he
Hmm.
leaves my house, I get an alert. When he gets home, I get an alert. When he gets to school, I get an alert. When he leaves school, I get an alert.
Oh, you might have to teach me how to do that.
Yeah, I'll do it after the show. It's super cool. I
Okay,
get an
yeah,
alert
because
all the
that would save me some headaches.
time. I always know when he comes in and out of the neighborhood because of
Mhm.
that alert. You know, and
Yeah.
it's that will save you because my son does the same thing. Hey, just let me know you got there. Shit's
Yeah, she's on
on.
she's on the phone 24/7 with her friends texting whatever, but you can't text me while you're on the bus? "Hey, I
Hmm.
got on the bus." That's all I want. "I got on the bus, okay. I'm on the
I mean,
bus."
I mean, but to answer that question though, of the Home Alone, I think it really all depends on the maturity of the kids.
Yeah.
I agree that you have to give them slack, but I think you also have to give them, they have to prove it too.
Yes.
You
See
know,
if they're responsible if they're responsible enough. Like, prove their responsibility.
12 is about the right age. I think it depends on the child, as to when. I think for me, 12, at least not in my case. I didn't want to do that. Like, he gets home like now, right? I try not to have him home alone just because I don't like it, you know.
Mhm.
But if I have to, okay, fine. If I have to go to work and he has to be at the house, well, hey, it is what it is. But
Right.
good thing is I have this person here that lives 5 minutes from the house. And she's always in the area, and I could just be like, hey, do me a favor, go by a second. So that also helps. What she says, she goes, I did it for both at 12, but in spurts. Right, you can't do it all the time. You see, there she
Exactly.
is. You know, you can't do it all the time. That's something that, especially at that age, you know,
Exactly.
when they're older or they have an older sibling at the house, also it's a little different. Where you can leave them, and you might even be able to leave them overnight, depending on how old the other
Mm.
sibling is.
Yes,
Listen to what I
yes,
said.
depending.
If you
But
have
I
a
would
person,
never leave.
no, I wouldn't either. You know, but depending on the older sibling, at that age, depending on how old they are,
Yeah,
you know, and again, I think it also depends on the maturity level.
yeah. If Christian were still at home, I would leave him and Ariana.
Well, because you have a grown ass man that's there,
Yeah,
you know, so he could take care of things like that. So it's just one of those where it's like, how's this and how's that, right?
yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. Think we're gonna wrap it up. You know, we had a pretty good show today.
Yeah.
So can't really complain. Any final thoughts? Like quick enough.
Um, I think just final thoughts would be if you're going to steal a car, make sure there's not a baby in it. If you're going to get into a fight, just throw water, let them hit you first, and leave your kids home alone. And I always wanted to be left all home alone so I could throw a party. That's why they didn't leave me alone.
That's why. You see, I think
Yeah.
your parents are smart. Hey, look,
And if you suffer from domestic violence, I think you should get
go
help.
get help.
Don't stay in the relationship and go to therapy and get the help that you need to overcome it because it is something that will last a long time if you don't get the help that you need.
Correct. Correct. Hey, you know what? That being said, I can't even top that one off. All right. Come check out Speaking of Real, whether we're on Wednesdays or Thursdays. It's going to be one of those 2 days. We'll probably go back to Thursday next week, anyways. So just, you might agree with what we're speaking, you might disagree with what we're speaking, But at the end of the day, Anna and I are speaking it real. Catch
That's
you guys
right.
next week.